As a program is a convergence of media practitioners who dissect news and current affairs to provide the right balance. So this evening on Press Roundtable, we'll be discussing, first of all, Oyo State bricklayer freed after 24-year incarceration. And coming from Kano State, judge caught stealing from petitioner's account. And in Zamfara State, bandits attack mosque, kill 2. Abduct 10. Now, National Assembly Customs Officer slums at reps hearing. These are the topics we're going to dissect this evening. So we're going to observe a little break. When we come back, as usual, I'm going to introduce my guests, and then we go into the details of the story. Stay tuned.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
Snatch.
On the line.
All right, we're glad to have you back on the show on Atlantic Television Network Press Roundtable. My guest this evening is Mr. Kingsley Jude Papamie. Good to have you again on the show.
Yeah, good evening and welcome.
All right. My name is Angel Okoma Angelic Angel. Now let's quickly go into the story. Lukman Adeyemi, a 50-year-old bricklayer, recounts his harrowing 24-year ordeal behind bars, the result of a misguided act of loyalty towards a friend. A story reported by media online highlights systematic flaws and injustice that led to his prolonged and wrongful incarceration. Adeyemi described his initial encounter with the justice system as a descent into hopelessness. He spent 9 years in pre-trial detention, followed by an unbearable 15 years on death row. The conditions he faced were nothing short of torturous, akin to a dark and endless nightmare. During interrogations by SAS police officers, Adeyemi endured severe physical and psychological torment, leading to coerced confessions for crimes he knew nothing about. Reflecting on his unjust predicament, Adeyemi questions the integrity and fairness of the system. Despite being an innocent bystander, he was entangled in a legal quagmire that seemed insurmountable. His decision to accompany his friend Ismaila Lassisi to the police station out of loyalty led to his wrongful arrest and subsequent incarceration. Throughout his imprisonment, Adeyemi faced skepticism and disbelief when attempting to share his truth. This prevailing sentiment of doubt and suspicion only added to his misery as he grappled with false accusation and a lack of justice. However, hope emerged when he encountered the Center for Justice, Mercy and Reconciliation headed by Pastor Hezekiah Olujobi. Their support and advocacy signaled a potential breakthrough in his quest for freedom. Adeyemi shared his story. He said, I am Lukman Adeyemi, a native of Iwerele, Jowa local government area of Oyo State. I'm a bricklayer by profession. I was 26 years old when I had this problem. In August 2000, after returning home from work with a friend living with me, Ismaila Lassisi, we were told that the police came looking for Ismaila and he was asked to report to the station. That's the man, as you can see him there. Yeah. Okay, you've seen the story, right? Sure. He was a bricklayer by profession and he accompanied his friend to a police station when the police sought for the guy. Then it led to his detention. And later, after some years, spending these whole years in the prison, he was later freed because they later found out that he was really right. And it was like nobody was able to hear him. Nobody could give him that listening ear as to what really transpired and why the reason that led to his being detained or being sent into the prison. But the question is, let me just say, as regards the judicial system, what can you say about this? Because he said that everybody refused to listen to him, to his story, so before he was sent into the prison. Let's come from the angle.
Yes, actually, this kind of situations has been detrimental to so many innocent citizens of this country. And if you go to the prison correctional center, you will find out that most of the suspects that are waiting trial are innocent. And it's so unfortunate that sometimes such innocent people are the people that suffer the consequences of the ones that committed the offense. But Adeyemi has given the story that his suspicion has brought him misery. Well, it's a lesson. It's a good lesson for him to learn and a good lesson for others to learn. Because sometimes most people keep friends that are heartless, friends that are hoodlums, friends that are bandits, friends that are criminals. And if you ask anybody, show me your friend, and I will tell you who you are. Your friend can practically dictate who you are, no matter what you tell anybody to listen. And that is why it is optional for anybody who wants to live a decent life and a life of morality to ensure that whatever that you do in life, try and keep a good relationship with people and somebody that has a good moral standing. Because if you are a friend of somebody who is a thief or who steals or who is a criminal, of course, when that person is not available, people will start pointing fingers at you, even though it is not you. That's his friend. Ask him where the one that committed the offense is, and that is what has happened to him. But it's unfortunate that the police on their own would have made adequate investigation, because the box or the crux of the matter start with them. And during the investigation, they would have known ordinarily that Adeyemi is innocent. Looking at the story that is telling Nigerians now, seems as if the police did not even want to hear him. Maybe they expected him to bring something for them or whatever. But if the story that Adeyemi is telling us today, that is innocent, well, I wonder if that police officer that indicted him is still alive. Now seeing him coming out. Well, from his investigation or from the investigation of the police, they must have found out that Adeyemi is maybe attached because of maybe conspiracy or other issues surrounding his arrest. Otherwise, if you are innocent, wherever you go, whomever that is investigating that matter would have known that you are innocent. But for the trial court, what we have to say is that we know the judicial system in our country, as at this moment, is being trusted, and in most cases, even last week when we were discussing, we saw where verdict was given in favor of certain people, and it brought accolades and credit to the judicial system. But for cases like the one that Adeyemi suffered for 24 years, it's not a good one. It's not a good record at all. It does not tell well. Where such matters are brought to the court on their own would have investigated the matter and scrutinized it properly, and if the consequences of the matter is not too grievous or too heavy and weighty, there's no need keeping him, because it's not the case of murder, it's not the case of manslaughter, it's not the case of robbery. At least the judge would have looked into it and then say if is that which would have kept him so long, it would have been more than 3 months or 6 months.
Now, but the question is...
So that's what we're saying.
Now, after he came out, like I've just listened to what you just said about, keeping friends, good friends, matters. The kind of friends one keep really, tells more on the person, okay?
Of course.
Exactly. But now he's been freed. Don't you think that there should be a lot of compensation? They should give him some compensation. And they said he was just only 26 years when he was sent into that place. Don't you think the judicial system should look into those persons who, when they are not just because they committed a particular crime and they are innocent, don't you think that they have to give them something as a compensation? Because they failed to, from me, they failed to make thorough investigation. There are persons who came to testify because before someone will be sent into the prison, there were people, witnesses who come, they will testify against the person. They will prove it beyond reasonable doubt before they could send the person into the prison. Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you. Looking at the case that just happened in Port Harcourt recently,
Yes.
where a DPO was beheaded
Yeah.
in Omoko, and some traditional rulers were arrested, and then one of them, all right, who was able to get a competent lawyer that took the matter up. The court declared about $2 to $5 million for his compensation for the few weeks and I think months that he was detained. The court ordered,
unlawfully.
Yes, unlawfully. That's what I'm saying.
Without proper investigation.
Without proper investigation.
Okay.
This one is just detention. It's not even this one that this
So
man
the
spent.
lawyer demanded $5 million to be paid to the guy.
For compensation to be paid to the, and the court granted it. So what we are saying is that Adeyemi, if he's so confident of the matter that has pushed him into such a misery, he can still come home, or rather he's going back home
And file for it.
and file a case for the justification to say, yes, I was innocent about this matter. How come I was kept in custody for 24 years? He has to query it. Of course, one has to query it and still go on to make your findings. If you are clean and clear, I think the court will grant you your request.
Okay.
Because it's your prayer that the court will listen to. If you did not ask for anything, the court will not give you anything. It's what you ask for that the court will give to you. That's the process.
Exactly. And if not for the appearance of the Center for Reconciliation, whatever, headed by one pastor like that came,
Yes.
and they listened to him. And this goes on to tell us that a lot of persons who are imprisoned, most of them are innocent.
Very innocent.
And then I believe at this point, I want to use this platform to really beckon on the government so that they really need to do something about the judicial system. Let them listen to those people. Once you are being accused or you are alleged of something, they have to carry out a thorough investigation, because it has to do with human life.
Yes.
It has to do with, because, what we call in psychology, psychosomatic disturbances.
Yes.
The psychological effect is so enormous.
High.
It's so colossal that it's unimagined.
Of course.
Yeah, so in order to save lives, they need to carry out a thorough investigation.
Of course. And then the police need to, I think they need to set up, as you have just said, a psychological department.
Okay.
All right?
Exactly.
That will, after the arrest of a suspect, let the psychological department take over the matter.
It's all right.
You know what I mean? And examine the behavior, the attitude, and the character of the suspects. And give a report to the judge. All right? They are not to give a report to the police. Let that department give a detailed report on their psychological investigation to the judge, so that the judge will be able to understand how to handle the matter.
All right. I believe this is very appropriate, and that's what they should do. But I believe it's really reasonable for them to set up a psychological department that will make a scrutiny of any person being alleged of something, whether felony, whether treason, whatever it is, because once you are examining it from that angle, it's going to go a long way to tell if the person is lying or not. Though we have intelligent officers, but they really need to put more effort and work hard in order to save life. Now we have a very disturbing stories coming from Kano State. A Kano's Judicial Service Commission has taken disciplinary actions against 3 magistrates and a registrar of the Kano High Court over misconduct, with the magistrate court attempting to steal funds from a frozen bank account. This was announced in a statement signed by the spokesman for the JSC, Babajibo Ibrahim, on Monday. The Judicial Service Commission at its 72nd meeting held on June 11, 2024 considered petitions against the 3 magistrates and 1 registrar in the state. The magistrate, Chief Magistrate Talatu Makama, Senior Magistrate Rabi Abdul Kadir, Chief Magistrate Tijani Salah Min Jibril, and the Senior Registrar Abdul Nasir. These disciplinary actions underscore the Judicial Service Commission's commitment to maintaining higher standards of judicial conduct and ensuring the integrity of the legal system, Mr. Jibo Ibrahim said. The statement said that the Judiciary Public Complaint Committee's investigation of 3 petitions filed against Ms. Makama found her guilty of misconduct. Now, according to the statement, the investigation revealed that she ordered GTB Bank to transfer money from a petitioner's already frozen account into her personal account, which she clearly admitted in her response. It said the second petition also found elements amounting to judicial bias in her handling of matters. According to the statement, in the third petition, she was found to have received a case and made an order to the police even before the case was assigned to her. The commission subsequently held that Chief Magistrate Tala to be recalled from the bench and relieved of all judicial duties effective immediately, Mr. Jibo Ibrahim said. He said the JSC also indicted Senior Magistrate Rabi Abdul Kadir of judicial recklessness. The Commission has resolved to recall the magistrate and relieve her of judicial duties for a period of 1 calendar year and has instructed her to cease all duties at Magistrate Court number 48, Mr. Jibo Ibrahim said. He further said that the investigation revealed that Senior Registrar Abdul Nasir received payment of fees meant for court records into his personal account, which constitutes serious misconduct. The Commission issued a strong warning to Nasir and also deferred his promotion for 1 year, the spokesman said. The statement added that the Commission also deliberated on the petitions received against Chief Magistrate Tijani Salah Majibri at his 73rd meeting. The response to the queries issued were found unsatisfactory, and the Commission viewed the actions of the magistrate amount to serious misconduct and judicial recklessness. Let's take it from there.
Yeah.
We're actually talking about in Kano what really happened. A judge was caught stealing from petitioners' frozen bank account, and it's really quite disturbing because this is coming from a judge who a lot of people reports confidence in him or how in them.
Yeah.
That just shows the judge, okay? Because we believe that they know it all, and they have to be squeaky clean in anything they are doing in handling matters concerning the citizens. But now he was found out that this judge in question was stealing from a petitioner's account and telling the officer, the GTB bank account, that they should transfer the frozen already account to her own bank, personal bank account. And we are talking about a judge, the judicial system, like we already said about the AU. What can you say about that?
Yes, it has already been stated very clearly to us that there's recklessness in the system.
Exactly.
Yeah, judicial recklessness. I'm not surprised at it, or we are not surprised at it. We already know that most of the crises that are rocking decisions and verdicts of the court in several quarters are symptoms of this kind of actions. In Kano, if you could remember, the Emir's ruling has been causing a lot of setback in the state. Even the crisis in River State right now that we are undergoing still has something to do with the judiciary. So, in essence, what we're saying is that if the hope of the common man is in the hands of a judge, and the judge is so corrupt to the extent of looking on the pockets of both the respondents and the defendants, then our society is no more safe again. We are in high turbulence. We are in high turbulence. in a society where we are talking about crime and then looking on how to bring values into our system, we find a judge or judges and their principal registrars and chief registrars manipulating the situation. Then it is no more justice. It's no more a justice system. It's now a corrupt justice system, because you cannot judge anybody. You cannot judge somebody in your own cause in the first place, because the law says nemo judes in casa sua. You cannot be a judge when you are also committing a crime. It's wrong. The system is dilapidated. That's what it means. It's collapsing, and Nigerians cannot see such things collapsing. And I want to commend the NJC for investigating the matter and taking radical decisions that will put other people on high suspense and make them to sit up. We cannot see our country being infested with symptoms of corruption in all quarters. The judge is corrupt, the chief registrar is corrupt, the registrar is corrupt. Then who in the system is not corrupt any longer? Even the lawyers that we call, that we hire, are also corrupt. Because it can be funny where a lawyer that you hired with your money, all right, can go back to the defendant lawyer and sit with him, drink with him, and by the time you know, is bargaining to take money from the defendant, and before you know, your case is thrown out because of lack of merit, or maybe lack of they say lack of merit. So those are the problems that is making this our society sick. Our society is sick. Even from the time that the election, the 2023-24 election was concluded, you can see how courts we are manipulating the justice system to nothing. And the people that won are no more the people who won again. It's the court that is decided. The people's vote no longer speak. It is a judge that is sitting on the city judge that decides on the votes of the citizens. It's wrong, practically wrong. You know, if the citizens have voted for a particular person, let that person be there. If the justice system is undertaking its course, let the course go on. But that those people that the votes of the voters, the votes of the voters should be sustained. All right, because our justice system is money minded. It's money minded already, and people no longer trust it. How will a judge rule in the first instance, and then when it is taken to appeal, it is manipulated? When it goes to appeal court, it's manipulated. When it goes to Supreme Court, when the final decision will be taken, then it's also manipulated. Well, what do we call that? It's distress. Distress. You know, Nigerians are in distress. When it comes to judicial system, Nigerians are in distress. Because even River State, people cannot carry placards and be protesting here and there. All right? When the case is there for them to look at it and then give it a final solution, and you keep postponing judgments, and keeping the people in suspense to cause crisis and cause havoc in the state. It's not easy. You know, Nigerians are tired of this judicial system.
Exactly.
Let the NJC take more actions, make more investigations, because even much more are under the carpet. They need to raise the carpet and bring out all of them, and make sure that these issues that are conflicting here and there, anywhere there is conflicting issues, that the judiciary cannot come out with a plain verdict. I think the judicial system the agency should investigate properly
Just,
and fire those judges.
All right.
So that it will serve as a good deterrent
all right.
to offenders.
I believe that they've really done that by relieving them of their duties,
Yes.
so that it will serve as a deterrent to other persons who are in the judicial system. Because if a judge can be found committing this kind of crime, how much more ordinary citizens, how much more any other person? So I believe they need to sanitize the judicial system. Well, that's the much we can take on this story. We want to embark on in a very short break. When we come back, we continue from where we stop. Stay tuned.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day our lives are changed by history,
We are one people, all of us.
leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought a very family.
We're glad to have you back to the studios of Atlantic Television Network, and the program is ATN Press Roundtable. In case you're just tuning in right now, that's the program we have right now. Okay, we really talked about a judge who was caught stealing from a petitioner's frozen account, GTB's account. Okay, and we really found out how disheartening that could be, and then we trying to question the judicial system. Does it mean that if any outcome or anything that they are deliberating there should be questioned, or what? I believe that they have to be sensitized, and we need a pure, squeaky clean judicial system in Nigeria. That's what we call. But now let's move over to another story. It's coming from Zamfara State before we go to the National Assembly. And bandits in the early hours of Tuesday attacked a mosque in a community in Zamfara State, killing 2 worshippers. Narrating the incident to newsmen, a resident of the area said that the bandits stormed the Zami community in the Bungudu local government area of the state when they were preparing for early morning prayers. The bandit entered the area, killed 2 people, Muazin, the person that caused prayer, and his younger brother. He added that the bandits also shot the imam, who sustained a fracture injury in his leg, and abducted about 10 people. Confirming the incident, the spokesperson for the Zamfara State Police Command, ASP Yazid Abubakar, said 2 persons were killed while some persons were kidnapped. According to him, the command has deployed more officers to the area to restore normalcy and ensure the rescue of the kidnapped victims. The incident happened this Tuesday morning. 2 persons were killed and some were kidnapped. We are yet to confirm the numbers of people kidnapped, but the command has deployed personnel to the area to restore normalcy. Efforts are in place to rescue the kidnapped victims, as said. Okay, let's take the stories from there just like that. You remember there was a statement that it came from the presidency recently, said that they are trying to combat the bandit, that they are already attacking insecurity in the country, most especially when it comes to the north. Okay, but now this one is coming from the Kano state, how bandits abducted, they went to the mosques with that, that audacity, with that temerity. They went there and then abducted people. They killed 2 persons, and a whole lot happened there. And are we really trying in securing our state and our country? And that's the question. What should be done to really increase the security to our country in states?
Yes, I will take it from where you started.
Okay.
I think it was just yesterday when
Yeah.
the president said that the military are fighting to, in fact, they have fought the criminals to a standstill. But this attack on the mosques didn't start now. If we are talking about this year, I think 2 months ago, it also happened in Kaduna, where I think the mosque, I think the mosque was bombed, and several people died. You see, when we are talking about security, security has something to do with architecture or architect, right? In the sense that you need to have a drawing board, right? Security has to do with a drawing board. And security personnel are not advised to stay in their offices or in their station. The means to combat crime is always in the field.
Mobile. Okay.
You must be mobile
Okay.
to see that every area is covered. And I want to advise the security personnel, especially the military. They know the hotspots. They know them. The hotspots. This problem, this kidnapping has happened now. This happened in various areas in Kaduna. There has been series of criminality and hotspots for these criminals. Why can't the military, in support of the police and other civil operatives, all right, build their camps in several of these hotspots, all right, and keep their men? If possible, have a CCTV there.
Are we saying that they are not really doing?
No.
But
they are doing the job.
Okay.
But they need
to
yes.
intensify.
Yes, there should be more
actions.
surveillance. More
Okay.
surveillance.
Like putting on CCTV
Yes, more
cameras and all of
surveillance
that.
into the system. That's what we were saying yesterday. That if you say these men are working, fine, they are working. But that you need to put more resources into it.
Now, what about now we know the bandits attacked the mosque.
Yes.
Does it mean that even those people praying at the mosque, that they were not able to get security personnel to be stationed at the mosque?
Is what we're saying. Now it has come to the realization
Yeah.
of the security operatives that these criminals are not sleeping. That's what they should know.
Exactly.
But the military and other operatives, they are sleeping. Otherwise, if bandits are, you know that bandits are in Zamfara state.
Yeah.
It's quite clear. And most of them come very far, all right, to commit this havoc and then go back. Does it mean that after when they come to commit this crime and they are going back, are there no flashpoints around such areas to track these people down? Those are the things that we are saying. So if the military camps or security camps are all over such areas where these issues are cropping up daily, all right? If this is the road leading to that place that the thing happens, isn't it? Let us block here. I don't know what I mean. Let us keep a camp here. Bring about 30 soldiers, all right, and then mix them up with other civil security operatives and let them be here. All right? And then the other time again, if something up to there, you look at the hotspot, you keep your camp there. So if the camps are littered over the area, all right, it now makes it difficult
for them to operate,
to penetrate.
Okay.
All right, because before you know, if you attack this camp now, all right, this camp can give signal to us, and then we'll come for a close up.
Okay.
And then before you know, we'll grab the criminals, and then you know the source where they are coming from, and then you trace them to that source, and then bombard that source, and then everything is destroyed.
All right.
But where you keep them, you know, they come, they commit, and they go. They come, they commit, and they go. And these security operatives are in the camp. You know, they're in the camp, not coming out to do their job. Then it's a failure.
All right.
It's a failure, total failure.
I believe that is really taken. They need to intensify effort in combating this bandits, like putting up their camps and
all over.
Surveillance all over. And you also advise that they shouldn't be sitting inside the office. Let them be everywhere. Let them supervise the guys, the officers or the personnel that they are sent out to duty. It is also the duty of them, of those high-ranking personnel, to supervise if they're actually doing their jobs or not. But a quick one. I don't know if you know about what really happened today about the deputy controller of customs. Let's just take that story, very quick one. A deputy controller of the Nigerian Customs Service, SCN Andrew, died on Tuesday after collapsing during questioning before a House of Reps Committee on Public Accounts. That's him. Mr. Andrew, who was in charge of finance administration and technical service of the NIS, was answering questions on the revenue of the service when he coughed and requested water. Before he could be given water, the officer collapsed and was rushed to the National Assembly Clinic, where he was pronounced dead. Announcing Mr. Andrew's demise, Akin Rotimi, the spokesperson of the House, said the officer developed health complications during the interaction with the lawmakers. During the engagement, which occurred around 1 p.m. on Tuesday, that's today, 25 June 2024, the official developed sudden health complications. Despite the immediate and diligent effort of first responders and medical personnel at the National Assembly Clinic, he unfortunately passed away, Mr. Akin Rotimi said in his statement. This is him, the custom officers. And imagine him, who was answering questions. He is the head of, he was the head of finance administration, so he was trying to account for revenue and, you know, what really happened, if he misappropriated any funds or not. But then, during this period, at that moment, they said he slumped and dies. What do you say about the story? Just requesting water, and he was given water, and he was rushed to the National Clinic. There and there he died. And what can you make out of this story?
Well,
it's a very sad one.
It's a very sad one, and very, very disappointing.
It's a very, very sad one.
And the point that I want to make very clear is that most of these our finance ministries have not told us what they are doing with the funds of Nigeria. They have not told us, honestly, because I smell huge deceit there. I smell huge corruption there. I smell I smell stealing there. And it's unfortunate that, you know, the questions and the counter questions and other tempting instructions, all right, must have caused this heart failure. I know of a situation in River State where an accountant of a particular agency of government, all right? I think that accountant has survived about 2 or 3 administrations before this one came, all right? And summoned the accountant to say, for the past 10 to 12 years, all right, we have not had an account from your office. Please, can you go and bring the account of your office? We want to know. All right? It's not quite 2 minutes when he left the man's office, the commissioner's office. Just near, close to the staircase, he fell and died. In River State here, River State. So it's similar to such occurrences that our finance officers in various departments and various ministries are corrupt. That's just the answer to it. Because if you are clean, all right, and you are sure of making a decent account of your office, I don't see any ant running inside your throat, all right, to go and hold your heart beat. All right, ant, I'm talking about ant running through your throat to your heart to hold your heartbeat, that you should die instantly. I've never seen such cases. So it's very clear that there are issues and there are cases and there are matters that came on that spot, on the spot, that he could not answer. And he has said to himself, instead of me to live, to take the shame, all right, let me die here. So that's just a situation. So I am very sorry to say this matter, but to say it very clearly that our country is really in a mess. That's just the picture. Our country is in a mess. Let us once more think about how we can restructure this country so that it can be better for us. We cannot be stealing the country dry to the extent that we now celebrate debt. We no more celebrate resources that we have. The resources that we have, it has now been converted to be debt for innocent citizens to bear. All right? It's not the innocent Nigerians that are bearing the consequences every day, suffering every day. Even how to eat is a problem. Whereas the finance officers in various government offices are robbing the citizens, robbing the country, and keeping us penniless. All right? Nobody can even find them, but thank God, God is looking for them. And one by one, they are revealing themselves.
Okay.
I want to tell the National Assembly, this debt should not stop the department from going deep into the matter. All right?
Because
let the National Assembly, let this committee,
they work
go
together.
deep. Let them go deep into the matter. They will see the result of why he fell down there and died.
Yeah, just like the magistrates,
Yes.
the one that tried to steal
Exactly.
money from, because she didn't do it alone, and just other than that one, there were other magistrates that were involved
Yes.
as well. Now, in this case, that he died, will I just say that because he knew he was lying? You know, how do I know? Okay, but you know, when you the Bible, there's this saying that says, "The clear conscience fears no accusation."
No, of course.
And as a matter of fact, if you are this person that you're so squeaky clean in handling funds of the public, I believe whatever health conditions you have will not deteriorate at that place of
course.
questioning.
He
You
that
understand?
goes to equity
You know, yeah, it
must
goes
go with what? Clean hands.
So if you're going to equity and you're going with a dirty hands, you know, so many health
can
complications. All right, so many things can happen. All right. Okay, that's the most we can take for today on the show. We're actually trying to advise everyone. Those ones are the National Assembly, the EFCC. Those are the hem of affairs of Nigeria. Whatever you're doing, make sure that your hands are clean. Make sure that you are not being found guilty, wanted, or any sort, because that could dent your image. We are so sorry that he lost his life, because I think he had more to tell Nigerians. He had more to tell the House of Reps, and if he's guilty, yes, he will face the music. But if he's not guilty, or if they didn't find him misappropriating any funds, they will also allow him. And it can happen to just anyone, because you know the state of the economy right now is really making people to be sick, and a lot of persons are having health challenges, one or two. And then whatever you are, whether you're sick, whether you're not sick, any position you're handling it well, and make sure that you're not being found any guilty. At 9 o'clock, we shall be going into the newsroom for the global news at 9. I just want to thank you so very much, Papa Mir, for coming. Thank you once again for coming. I appreciate your presence. My name is Angel. Welcome, Angelic Angel. Like I said, I want you to please stay connected on ATN socials. You can follow and like our page on Twitter on Atlantic TV Net. We're also on Facebook. We're on YouTube at Atlantic Television Network. Global news evening. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. And for me is please stay tuned as we bring to you the global news ATM Press Roundtable. We are always providing the right narrative in news narration. Please stay tuned for the global news at 9.